Sorry, guys, I've been interrupted by some other stuff. So this Odysseus in Greek mythology, ancient Greece, he killed his dad because he was jealous and he wants to have, I think inadvertently, by some kind of like this oracle advice, and he kills his dad, and he marries his mom, and then they found out the problem, and his mom commits suicide, and everything gets into tragedy. So this psychology, Freud has come with the idea. So what they were saying was this family value, which is the smallest and finest part cell of the whole production of society as a community, as a family, the smallest ingredient. Because of this this capitalist system is so suffocating, it perverts the whole course of humanity to the level of this kind of really catastrophic thing. So these French people, sometimes you have to appreciate a lot of things for their exploration of their mind, all this freedom. So they were saying, what they were saying is the kids and the people are supposed to be more relaxed to their sexuality and everything. Otherwise, they're gonna be perverts. All these people, they have all this pedophilia, all these things, like, we control the society, man. It's not like us in Eritrea or in Africa, where you have so many women. You got a lot of choice. The same woman, they got a lot of choices. It's not like in Europe. So this, because really, that's really control the society. It's really strange. So this is Ford kind of idea they try to put on the book anyway. So because I just want to show you, so this is the book, Paleoanthropological, Logical and Archaeology History Research on Eritrea. It's by National Museum of Eritrea. The guy was Dr. Tsagai Medin. I think he studied in Spain. He's an Eritrean who studied his PhD in Spain. And the other one is so because they took the idea of this Australians by this man, Joseph Birdsell, this American guy. He was, all these Aborigines people are Australians, so obviously, these are people who went to Australia from Asia. Okay, so these Asian people, I think they must have gone to Asia from Africa, because everything was African a long time ago. So that's the thing about his Australians, because I just wanna show you how it is. Can you see? Yeah, the other one is this thing about this. So that's it's his Birdsell, Joseph Birdsell. He's an anthropologist, Harvard and Stanford graduate man. He was into military as well, American military. Okay, so you're getting it. And the other one is, let me just make sure I got the thing. Yeah. And so this native entitlement, so as you can see, let me just try to make it bigger. Okay, so you got this Aboriginal land rights in Australia, Australian Aboriginal sovereignty, Australians for native title and reconciliation, list of Australian native title court cases, list of native title claims in South Australia, native title legislation in Australia, outstation movement, yeah. So you got everything so that you can read and see, because I'm trying to put the link. Okay, the other one is this idea of this Ford idea, how they call it, Oedipus complex. So that's the man I told you. Says this is Sigmund Freud used the name the Oedipus complex to explain the origin of certain neuroses in childhood. Okay, so story we are told as kids, remember, never. So On the way, Oedipus came to the villa where 3 years crossed. There he encountered, this is the guy actually, he killed his king dad. Then he encountered a chariot driven by his birth father, King Leos. They fought over who had the right to go first, and Oedipus killed Leos when the charioteer tried to run him over. The only witness of the king's death was a slave who fled from a caravan of slaves also traveling on the road at the side. Continuing his journey to Thebes, Oedipus encountered a sphinx who would stop all travelers to Thebes and ask them riddle. If the travelers were unable to answer her correctly, they would be killed and eaten. If they were successful, they would be free to continue on their journey. The riddle was, what walks on 4 feet in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night? Oedipus answered, man. As an infant, he crawls on all fours. As an adult, he walks on 2 legs, and as in old age, he is a walking stick. Oedipus was so first to answer the riddle correctly. The Sphinx was so embarrassed that someone had solved her riddle that she killed herself by jumping off a cliff. In some regions, however, Oedipus killed her. So this never in our culture we used to call it the same. እንታይ ይበሃል ብክልት ቆልዓ كله بخلت እግሩ ዝኸይድ ምስ ዓበየ ነው ቆልዓ كله ب4 እግሩ ዝኸይድ ምስ ዓበየ بክልተ እግሩ ዝኸይድ ምስ አረገ ብ3 እግሩ ዝኸይድ, which is sub human being, you know, because we walk on 3 with our stick when we are getting old. So that's the riddle. So this anti-Oedipus is an idea. Fascism, the family and desire for oppression. So this is capitalism. So daddy, mommy, me, they used to that, like, you know. Yeah, so what is they saying? To address this question, Deleuze and Guattari examine the relationship between social organization, power, and desire, particularly in relation to the Freudian Oedipus complex and its familial mechanisms of subjectivation. Daddy, mommy, me. They argue that nuclear family is the most powerful agent of psychological repression, under which the desires of the child and the adolescents are repressed in perversion. Okay, such psychological repression forms docile individuals that are easy targets for social repression. By using this powerful mechanism, the dominant class, making captures and segregations pass over into a social field, can ultimately control individuals or groups, ensuring general submission. They make it submit. This explains the contradictory phenomenon in which people act manifest counter to their class interests when they rally to the interests and ideals of a class that their own objective situation should lead them to combat. Okay, Deleuze and I don't know how to pronounce the French name, Guattari, critic of this mechanism, seeks to promote a revolutionary liberation of desire. So this if desire is represented, it is because every position of desire, no matter how small, is capable is calling into question the established order of a society. Not that desire is social, on the contrary, but it is explosive, where there is no desiring machine capable of being assembled without demolishing entire social sectors. Okay, anyway, blah 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 blah. So the family under capitalism as an agent of repression. So they just keep on going. Okay, so this is obviously Oedipus. Okay, so the other one is because I just wanna give you. So I already told you about the nativity. We acknowledge that being native people, like we shouldn't be repressed and our land to be taken away. The other one is they had this book. Let me just open the link. So these people, so that's the man, Joseph Bird one. Joseph Bird, Benjamin Birdsell was American anthropologist. So we had the cyclist Benjamin, Biniam, all that kind of stuff, he was an American anthropologist known for his work on indigenous Australians. Okay, so I show you that Australians thing that Mr. What's his name? Tsagay Medhin, Eritrean anthropologist who graduated in Spain, wrote his book. Okay, he was the leading guy on that, which spanned from the 1930s through to the 1970s. He was a long-serving professor of anthropology at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. He is best known for his tri-hybrid model of human migration into Australia, which proposed three distinct waves of racially distinct populations. The Birdsell model was popular in the mid-20th century, but was later found to be unsupported by scientific evidence. So that's the guy, Joseph Birdsell, okay? Benjamin, I think his name is Benjamin. Anyway, so this is the guy that I got from the book, from Mr. Tsagay Medhin. So this is the native title in Australia, my friend. So this is how you can see. Native title is the set of rights recognized by Australian law held by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander groups or individuals to land that derives from their maintenance of their traditional laws and customs. So the same thing with we Akuluguzai people. We shouldn't be taking our name, our geographical area shouldn't be chunked off and given somebody else, and we are not supposed to be driven to Mandafara. Okay, so these people are really clever. So this is really very important point. Okay, so the idea of barrier must have come from this one. I'll show you in a minute. The Aboriginal title rights were first recognized as part of Australian common law when the decision of Mabia Queenlands number 2 in 1992 doctrine was subsequently implemented and modified by statute with the Native Tribe Act of 1993. Very important, isn't it? So okay, so this is so that let me highlight it so that you can see it properly. So this is native title in Australia, my friend. Okay, so the other one is so these are they call them Mubabaram people. Okay, so this is these are the Barriawan people. So this Barrian hypothesis in a publication of 1941, Norman Trindle, together with the American anthropologist Joseph Birdsell, published it. I mean, this guy is the guy that Mr. Tsagay Medhin has referenced. Okay, very important. Published a paper suggesting that there were 12 Negrito tribes, Negro, living on the coastal and rainforest areas around Cairns in Australia. The idea had been developed by Birdsell during field work or in 1937 until 1938. They were characterized by very short stature, curly hair, and yellow-brown skin. 6 of them were the Rebal speakers, such as the Jirbal, Jiramai, Gulungal, I think these are tribes, and the Jiru within the Marai Upper Tali area of the others located further north beyond claims to speak varieties of Djabugay, their language, and 3 spoke dialects of Yidin. The remaining tribes, the remaining tribe were the Mbabaram, whom Trendle took to be strong evidence for his hypothesis because their language, insofar as it had been reported, diverged substantially from the surrounding tongues and appeared to be wholly atypical compared to the standard Australian Aboriginal languages. Okay, so this is very important, my friend. This is nativity. Sorry, this is native title. Title. So this is the man. Okay, Mr. Joseph Burset. Okay, so the other one is I want to show you is so this this Baria people, or I mean Tigrinya Baria, this idea is definitely came from the Baria in our culture. Like, try to tell them you're not indigenous, you're not native. So this is the one. The other one is this is the one. So this is the pyramid of capitalism. So what you have is, my friend, this pyramid of this spiritual Pilatorian ውፅዓት ሲሎም ኩሉ እቲ ሓረሶት ኩላትና ይኹም ዝብለና they tell us, all of us. So this is pyramid of capitalism system is a common name of 1911 American cartoon caricature critical of capitalism copied from a Russian flyer of 1901. The graphic focuses on stratification by social class and economic inequality. The work has been described as famous, well-known, and widely reproduced. A number of different works exist. Okay, so they had the eagle, which is the eagle is taken as maybe it could be the king and the queen, or maybe the king and the queen together, and they have their people underneath them. So I think let me just make it bigger. So you have this pyramid of power, my friend. The eagle. I think this is money. Obviously, this is dollar. American dollar being the eagle, controlling the whole economy of the world. So it's taken as eagle because eagle in the past was taken as the most all seeing, all observing eagle bird from the sky, which is between human creatures on the earth and to the goddess on the sky. So the eagle, that's how they put it on the so in this one, as you can see, is the money, American dollar, and in the Sari system is the eagle. Can you see the eagle? Nisri. Interesting, isn't it? And I think they have another version. So this is pyramid. So this is the Belgian king of Belgium. So you got the big Belgian king as the pyramid at the top, and you got all the Praetoriats, working class people, really sweating so hard, spending a lot of their labor on the farms, and servers and slaves, they don't have land to live by, and they just walk, and so this is very important. This pyramid of so you have this the red flag symbolizing the hardworking, all these labor people, at the bottom end of society, at the pyramid. So that's what these French people, psychologists and psychiatrists and anthropologists put together, came up with. So this, you got one of them that. So this guy, the Dr. Tsagai Medin referred in his book and the Eritrean Museum, was this Andre Rory Grain. I think he's got this his hair putting it just in this thing on the top of his head. So he's a guy. So Andre Lorraine Gurwan, August 1911 until February 1986. I think he died in 86. Was a French archaeologist, paleontologist, paleontologist put together, anthropologist with an interest of technology and aesthetics and penchant for philosophical reflection. So this is, as you can see. 1 second, excuse me. So this is so he had this technicity, ethnicity, everything. So he's got this. This is very important. Evolution memory program. Okay, so he was saying about this bipedality when people are walking onto legs, like all these ostrich human beings, everything. And he was talking about the development of the cortex, the technology being part of another extension of their thing, what humanity is institution, so all this DNA and everything, and he was talks about nervous system because I think he's gonna come to all their sexuality and all their libido. So he was called. So Leroy Green is frequently cited in the two volumes collaboration by French philosopher Gilles Deleuze and psychiatrist Felix Guattari, entitled Capitalism and Schizophrenia. So so they're talking about control of libido of their society, their sexual desires, suppressing and making them perverts. Obviously, so that's they are diverting their production level of their own biological. So they are suppressing the libido of the society production, my friend. Instead of you sleeping with your woman and having 15, 12 kids as a production department of your human labor ministry, they suppress it and they try to control your libido so that you don't make love to your woman. You become pervert. You don't have kids, they control it. So that's why he's saying, this is what they're saying, capitalism and schizophrenia. Obviously, they make the society, all these plethora working people, schizophrenic. They make them mad. They make them crazy. So that's what they're saying. So they were saying all this technology and everything. So it's very important. This guy, Andrew Leroy Green, that Mr. Tsagai Medina has put on his book, Anthropology of Eritrea. So the book that these people came up with, Techniques and Time, which I'll put the link here so that you can see. Techniques and Time, the Fault of Epimetheus, French, whatever it is. The English translation by George Collins and Richard Brett were published by Stanford University Press 1998. The Techniques and Time series is the fullest systematic statement by Stiger of his philosophy, and the first volume draws on the work of Martin, whatever, all these people, in order to outline and develop Stiger's major philosophical. This series consists of 3 books. I think I'll leave it. I don't want to talk too much. The other one is, this is what Praetorian means. Praetorian, sorry, I got the pronunciation wrong. The proletariat, from Latin, praetorius, producing offspring is the social class of wage earners, people who get all wages. It could be taxi driver, it could be university lecturer, whatever you are, researcher, professor, whatever you are still a proletariat. Would we call them middle class? No, I don't think they don't get to that level. Those members of a society whose profession of significant economic value is their labor power. Okay, so this production of their sexuality, their libido, is controlled because it's labor. The kids are gonna be labor. Their capacity to work. A member of such a class is a proletarian or a proletariat. Marxist philosophy regards the proletariat under conditions of capitalism as an exploited class, forced to accept meager wages in return for operating the means of production. So means of production I explained already, in farms and everything, in industry, manufacturing, as a labor, as human beings, producing kids. That's production. Means of production which belong to the class of business owners and bourgeois. So these people, like these business people, bank owners, bankers, everything. Karl Marx argued that this capitalist operation gives the proletariat common economic and political interests that transcend national boundaries, impelling them to unite and take over power from the capitalist class, and eventually to create a socialist society from class distinction. I don't know if there's such things exist in life, They all come with really lovely, big buzzwords, but they turn up the same, being capitalized themselves, like the electrons we have. Anyway, so this is the guy, Felix Guattari. I think he was born 1930 and he died 1990. Was a French psychoanalyst, political philosopher, semantian, social activist, and screenwriter. He co-founded schizoanalysis with Giles Deleuze and ecoscopy with Hermes and is known for his literary and philosophical collaboration with Deleuze, most notably RT Oedipus and Thousand Plato. Like I said, this Thousand Plato is very important. The two volumes of their theoretical work, Capitalism and Schizophrenia, very important. So this Gilles Deleuze is another Frenchman. So these French people, they are really great thinkers because they're not that much controlled because of the French Revolution that has already get rid of all this really bankrupt, bad society of the Tsarist, emperors. So Gilles Louis Ray Deleuze, 1925 until 1995, was a French philosopher who from the early 50s until his death 1995 wrote on philosophy, literature, film, and fine art. His most popular work were the two volumes of Capitalism and Schizophrenia, Anti-Oedipus, that's Freudian kind of thing. A Thousand Platos, I think that was written 1980, both co-written with psychiatrist Felix Guattari. His metaphysical treatise, Difference and Repetition, considered by many scholars to be his magnum opus. So what's this magnum? Anyway. So this is a Thousand Plato. Plato. I don't know how it is pronounced. A Thousand Plato, Capitalism and Schizophrenia. French Mille Plastiques is a 1980 book by the French philosopher Gilles Deleuze and the French psychoanalyst Felix Guattari. It is the second and final volume of their collaboration work, Capitalism and Schizophrenia. While the first volume, Anti-Oedipus, was critic of contemporaries of psychoanalysis and Marxism, A Thousand Plato was developed as experimental work of philosophy covering a far wider range of topics, serving as a positive exercise in what Deleuze and Guattari refer to rhizomatic thought. So this is very important, these people, I put the whole idea, the whole text on my Facebook. You will be able to see Eob Solomon. So that's the one. Well, so this libido, what is libido? Well, this libido, I just want to say it from Wikipedia. In psychology, libido is a psychic drive or energy, usually conceived as sexual in nature, but sometimes conceived of as including other forms of desire. The term libido was originally developed by Sigmund Freud, the pioneering originator of psychoanalysis, with direct reference to Pluto, the philosopher, Greek philosopher. Plato's Eros. The term initially referred only to specific sexual desire, later expanded to the concept of universal psychic energy that drives all instinct and whose great reservoir is the id. So what does it mean? So this the id, ego, and superego are the three different functionally interlocking main component of the human soul as investigated and defined by Sigmund Freud. They represent the structural model of psychoanalysis. Freud himself used the German terms DOS, SH. The libido in the abstract core differentiated partly according to his synthesizing, partly to his analytical aspect called life and death drive. Thus becomes the source of all natural forms of expressions, the behavior of sexuality, as well as striving for social commitment, maternal love, instinct, etc. Skin pleasure, food, knowledge, and victory in the areas of species, and self-preservation. In common or colloquial usage, a person's overall sexual drive is often referred to as the person's libido. In this sense, libido is influenced by biological, psychological, and social factors. Biologically, the sex hormones and associated neurotransmitters that act upon the nucleus accumbens primarily testosterone, estrogen, and dopamine, respectively regulate sex drive in humans. Sexual drive can be affected by social factors such as work and family, psychological factors such as personality and stress, also by medical conditions, medication, lifestyle, relationship issues, and age. Get my phone. It's very important. So don't let your libido to die, because that's your production level, my friend. That's your production department. Okay, production department. If someone kills your libido by stress, by war, by fear, by bullying, that means they're trying to kill you. If you don't pro this, you're dead. So that's life and death issue. Very important. You fight to have it, my friend. That's your production level, my friend. That's you. You have so many kids. You got a woman, a wife, a girlfriend, my friend. That's your expression. You know, that's your engine. Very important. You don't allow that to any medical express or whatsoever. Anyway, 1 second, please. So this is it. So anti-Oedipus. So they saying this anti-Oedipus fascism, the family and desire for operation. So the reason to address a fundamental problem of political philosophy, the contradictory phenomenon whereby an individual or a group comes to desire their own operation. This contradiction had been mentioned briefly in the 7th century philosopher Spinoza. He's a Jewish man, I think, Portuguese Jewish man. Why do men fight for their servitude as stubbornly as though it were their salvation? That is, how is it possible that people cry for more taxes, less bread? Where then Ryan discussed the phenomena in 1933 book, The Mass Psychology of Fascism. Fascism, my friend. So it's this thing like the Italian colonization, all these things like that. Anti-Oedipus, Capitalism and Schizophrenia, 1972 book by French authors Gilles Deleuze and Félix Guattari, the former philosopher and the latter a psychoanalyst. It is the first volume of their collaborative work, Capitalism and Schizophrenia, the second being Thousand Platos. In the book, Deleuze and Guattari developed the concept and theories in schizoanalysis, a loose critical practice initiated from the standpoint of schizophrenia and psychosis, as well as from the social progress that